Hello guys, I'm Savvy and welcome back to another Conan Exiles build video. This one's going to be a little bit different because I was just testing some things and different designs, and there's a couple ideas that I've had, and this one I've thought about doing first because I think this one's going to look really pretty. So we're going to be building what I'm going to call, I guess, an oasis sanctuary of some kind. Something along the lines of that. It's going to look really pretty. We're going to be working on it together, so I haven't completed a full structure of it off camera, but we're going to be doing this together where, like in some other of my other videos, you see me kind of do some guesswork where I try different things and then end up with a result that I like. So we're going to be doing that in this video. So if you're wanting to know where I am at B7 and 8. It's kind of like in the corners of all four of these squares here. So A, B, 7, and 8. This is actually where I built one of those mansion builds that I did in a previous video, so I think I'll link that to you guys at the end of the video, of this video, so you guys can check that out. As well as probably the other builds that I've done in the playlist that I've made as well, so you guys will link that as well. Alright, without further ado, let's get started. So what we're going to do is I'm going to use Aquilonian. We're going to use Aquilonian because I've rarely used it, or actually I haven't used it at all in any of my builds that I've done, that I've shown off. I've used a lot of Argossean, and we're going to be going between Argossean and Aquilonian. So most of it's going to be built out of Aquilonian because we're going to be using foundations and ceiling pieces, and also fences too. Alright, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to center this. I'm going to center as best I can, but yeah, it's not going to come out the best. And I might want to lower this a little bit and then make another level above it. So raise this up slightly, then bring this up again. And we're going to make circles. So we're going to make a kind of a medium circle. So you have your normal circles here where you have all these wedge foundations together, like so, where it makes this tiny circle. But we're going to go a step higher where we're going to use these square foundations and then a wedge. And just go in between each one, switching between the square and the wedge. So it'll come together where they meet, just like this. And then you just repeat it, especially if you're building up, you just repeat it. And what's going to be next after we complete these is we're going to be filling in the middle yet because I'm going to show you guys the outline. So from this, we're going to go from I guess you can consider these the corners where these wedges are. And we're going to put another wedge here on all these wedges. I'm going to clear out these trees in a second too because they're kind of in the way. Yeah, let's get rid of these trees here. Get out of here. Get rid of you. I'm gonna have to get rid of a lot of these. Only because they are in my way. For sure. Because this build's gonna be not too big, but it's definitely gonna be decently sized so we have enough walking room. And also the reason why I'm building up too high is because of these nests here that we're probably going to run into. So you just want to make sure that you are prepared enough for that. Alright, that should give us enough room for the rest of the build, I think. Let me get rid of these two as well. Just like that. Okay. So, now, let's continue. So once all these have been placed, you can also build these up by one more as well. Just like that. But then we're going to make the same circle, but through these wedges that we built just now. So put your squares on either side of each one of these, all the way around, and then we're going to follow the same pattern as we did with this first circle. So just kind of combine these squares with the wedges and then just go between them. So square, wedge, or wedge, square. However you want to do it, really. And technically we could do it where we start from the square and do it that way, so that way it is a less consistent pattern, but I do like the consistency. But it's up to you. You can do it either way. I'm going to do it this way where it has more of a consistent pattern. But we're going to go all the way around, and these gaps here, they're not going to be there permanently, but it kind of gives you a good point of reference of how the shape is going to look with all these circles together. So we're just going to build all this around here, and then I'm going to build it up again. So as you can see, the way that I'm building this, you pretty much do that all the way around until all of it is complete. So I'm just going to cut the rest of this part out until I have it all built up. So I'll see you guys in a second. Okay, so I've completed all the circles here, and you have something like this, which looks pretty cool, not gonna lie. This is what it looks like from this angle, but if we go up higher, you could see you can get a better view of it, sorta, kinda. Looks really cool. So once it's built up twice, or you built this up with 2 blocks, we're going to go back around with this, and we're going to use some fence foundations. Now, with the Aquilonian fence foundations, it doesn't really matter which way you face them, because they're pretty much all the same. But we're going to go all the way around with this, and the reason why I'm doing this, and I've mentioned in previous build videos as well, is there's a couple reasons for this. The first reason is for rendering. So what we're going to do is once we have this entire foundational part outlined with these fence foundations, we're going to go back in and pretty much get rid of all the regular foundations. And the reason why we want to do this is because of the rendering that can happen. So if you're on PC, you may have a powerful PC like mine, for example. If you want to know my specs, you could check my About Me on my channel page, on my homepage on my channel. But if you have a powerful PC like mine, it won't be that much of an issue, but I know typically when it comes to playing on servers, or even just on your own, if you decide to build like huge structures, and if you're using a lot of foundations, it's gonna be pretty costly to your to rendering it, so like a lot of graphics power. So it's best to use the fence foundations because it takes less. You'll be able to use a lot more of them because you'll be able to use a lot more of them because it takes less to render than the actual foundations, because obviously fence foundations are smaller than the regular foundations, both wedge and square. Now the other reason for this is, well, actually, there might be 3 reasons. The other reason is I think it looks better. I think it's more appealing, the way that it looks, rather than seeing on the sides. And it might depend on the foundation that you're using, the foundational block that you're using for this. Because some of them look prettier, while others look kind of meh, you know. It's like, do I really want to use this? And I will say that Aquilonian, the sides of them does look pretty good, but I'm just used to the habit of putting these here, so, you know. It's, yeah, it's definitely a lot better. The third reason, it escapes my mind at the moment. I'm recording this very late. I'm recording this at like 1 in the morning, so, my brain is a little scattered, so if I think of the third reason, because there is one, I will get back to you guys about that. But this is what we have so far. So this is the outline, and I'm keeping these here to kind of keep the pattern in. But I'm gonna cut out again. I'm going to cut this part because we're gonna pretty much go back around with it and just use our ceilings instead. So. Yeah, just follow the same pattern as before, just use your ceilings, and then I'll show you the end product once I get through with this. Alright, so we have something like this, and I didn't finish the rest of it because I kind of want to show you what I did on the inside. So as I hollowed out the inside here, all these square parts, I just decided to put pillars on because we do need some foundation. We do need some support underneath because structural integrity in this game does exist. So it is ideal for you to have some support here. Now, it does help with the rendering, but you might need to do maybe a couple extra steps, such as putting these pillars down in order for support. And really, even though, and I will say that the downside of using the fence foundations is that it does take more work to do because, as I said, the extra step is putting the pillars down. But, it's a lot easier to use the regular foundations, but trust, I've been in many servers before where people's builds just consisted of a lot of these regular foundations, and it was abhorrent trying to get around their base because it would just take so long to render. It would make my frames drop significantly, etc., etc., etc. So using this takes less rendering power for that to happen. So it's just better overall, in my opinion. Anyway, so we have all this built up now, which this pattern looks so pretty. I really like it. I need to use the Aquilonian floors a lot more because just look at that. That is so pretty. Beautiful marble. Beautiful marbling. All right. So the next thing is we're going to move into our Argossean because I want to use these pillars. Now, I love these pillars so much because they're just so good to use. And what we're going to do is we're going to build pillars around the outside here. So where all these squares are, put a pillar here, but not the last two. So you want to just go 1, 2, 3, 4, then not here. And then you want to do that all the way around on every single one of these circles. You're kind of forming like a half circle with these pillars, but it's more than half of the circle. So then you have something like this. Now, there's two different ways we could do this. We could either have the regular Argossean pillar, which is a middle piece, or we could have the cap Argossean pillar. I think they're all named Argossean pillar. So we could have something like this, or we could have something that looks more like this, which makes this taller, but I was thinking of adding more levels to it, and I think starting shorter is good, but I'm also thinking height as well, and I think making it taller might make it look more grand. We want more grandeur, so let's go with the middle pillar and then pretty much a full Argossean pillar using all the pieces together. And you just want to go all the way around with each of these, putting this middle bit here, and then obviously finishing off with the cap here. All the way, oop, sometimes that happens, but don't worry, you can always replace it. And then something like this. Beautiful. Now for the middle part, I'm not going to put any pillars down yet because I was thinking of either putting pillars in this middle part here, or I was thinking of putting maybe a shrine or a fountain or something in the middle and maybe putting pillars around it. Which honestly, it might look really cool if we use the observatory pillars, but that might take a little bit of work, so I want to do the simple stuff first before going into the more complicated things. So we're going to go around again, and we're going to put our square ceilings as well as our wedge ceilings around, because we want this to be covered, just like so. All the way around, and then in between will be the wedges. Just like this. Oops. Those inside bits, we're not going to put these ceilings on the inside because I have a cool idea. I have a really good idea. And I usually do this with a lot of my builds too. So we have something like this. Oh, that looks so cool. I love it. But before we continue with the next layer here, we are going to put some Aquilonian fences around. And you're probably wondering, well, where are we going to put where are the stairs going to go? That's a good question. So, stairs, I believe, will go on the sides where the wedges are, and they're just going to only be 3 on each side. And these are the stairs with the railing. Although some of these might not work the way that they should. So maybe not the wedges. Maybe the squares. The squares might work better. And just go all the way around with these. And it's okay if, you know, some of these trees are in the way. I'm not going to chop these trees down because, I don't know, they look good when they're semi-close by. I will say that planning the stairs out for this is a little awkward unless you maybe build out a little bit more and then plan it better. But I think also I just realized that doing this, just the pillars are in the way, so it doesn't matter. It's not a good plan. So I'm going to figure out the stair situation real quick, and I'll show you what I do in order for it to actually work properly. So I'll see you guys in a second. Alright, so I figured out the stairs situation, and as you can see, I put stairs in most of the areas except for one, because I want to demonstrate how I did it. So, I'm going to take the regular wedge ceiling piece, the Aquilonian one. I'm going to put one here, here, and here. And you can see that there's a square gap in the middle, so you just want to put a square right there. Then you want to take the Aquilonian stairs with the railing. At least you could use ones without the railing, but I'm going to use it with the railing. And then you just want to bring the stairs all the way down till they meet with the ground. And then we're going to do pretty much the same thing up here, except we're just going to leave gaps because we're not going to be seeing the inside of this. So you put a wedge there, then a square connected to the stairs here and on the other side as well. Now we're going to take our ceilings, or sorry, not ceilings, our Aquilonian walls, and we're going to place them down here, one up here, and on the opposite sides of these stairs too. The next thing, we're going to use both the right sloping walls and the left sloping walls, and just kind of put them wherever you want. And in some cases, you'll be able to connect this here, so that way there's a smoother incline with that. It just looks better overall. So it's a little finicky at times. You might just have to move your camera a little bit here and there, but then you'll eventually get it. And then make sure that all sides have this, and even if it's that close to the ground, you can still get that little bit there too. And voila! We have something just like this. Looks great. Now, after this, I want to put a bunch of Aquilonian fences around. These fences are really pretty. I don't use them as much as I should, but I really do like them. I like their pattern, I like the color of them. It's just really pretty. So we're just going to go all the way around here, obviously leaving the gap for where the stairs are, until we get every single side with fences. So just like that. Wonderful. So it's semi-protected, but there's a lot of ways to get in. But that's okay. Alright, so now we can focus more on the top parts here. So I'm going to use Aquilonian walls and just go around on all sides here, just pretty much tracing a line from the inside here, because the outside part is actually going to have roof pieces on top of them. Now the question is what kind of roof pieces do I want? Because there's technically, because even though we're using Aquilonian, there's technically the Argossean ones that, I mean, we could use the Argossean sloped roofs instead of Aquilonian, which in my opinion are a lot better, or we could use the observatory ones. So we could do a side-by-side comparison. And we want to make sure that that's not going to be covered, but we could see the other, we can see just the results of this, of how it works entirely. And then finish it off with this on either side too, just like so. Which the rounded ones look good. But let's look at the Argossean sloped roofs, like just the regular sloped ones, and see what this looks like. So we have these together here, just like so. Now, I'd say the rounded ones look a lot better for this. But if you don't have it, I mean, this is a good substitute since it is part of vanilla. So, if you have the DLC, that is, for the for Aquilonian, or I mean, or Argossean for the roof pieces, because for this build you need both Aquilonian and Argossean. All right, so we're just gonna stick with this, and it's okay that this kind of sticks out a little bit. It's not really that noticeable, and it's not really the end of the world that it does that, because unfortunately there's not a building piece or a wall piece from any of these that give you an inside wall piece where both sides are inside or even both sides are outside pieces, because that would be great to have. It'd be very convenient. Especially for someone like me who builds a lot in this game. So, we're gonna go and finish all the way around here. And then once we're done with that, then we're just gonna go up a little bit more with this, with the way that we're building here. Okay, so we have this, which I mean, it just looks so cool already. All right, so we're gonna take our ceiling pieces again and just fill in the gaps here. Fill in the gaps up here. And this gives me an idea of having just hanging lights from these positions here. Just inspiration already from this. And then we're also going to make a layer, which it might be a little bit silly trying to, yeah, we're going to have to use the squares here in order for these to be together, because these parts have wedges, and then the other parts will have squares. You could also say triangles. I mean, I'm so used to calling them wedges because that's technically what they are, but it's just squares and triangles. So either way is fine. All right, so now we have something like this. Oh, it just gets better and better in my opinion. Just really good. All right. So this is the part where I'm going to get a little bit experimental because I don't really know exactly what I want to do with this. Because a part of me is thinking maybe if I go to Argossean and just build some pillars, like build the pillars all around here on each side and just kind of build up a little bit. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to experiment real quick and then show you the end results with these. And then, because what I was thinking of doing was maybe adding these pillars here, and we could just do this with the one example. And you could also think of this with just 2 heights here, and then putting wedges down. I'm just going to use the Argossean one for right now. And then finishing it off with maybe some roof pieces like that. Maybe. Or I leave these open here and build more of the inside with more pillars, which that might actually work out better. Both of these scenarios probably work good in their own way, but yeah, we'll try these out. And then what I could do is put Aquilonian fences just around these parts that aren't going to be built up. Because even though you're not going to be able to access these from up here, we could add some fancy stuff up here, like statues, fountains, things like that. Because when I think sanctuary, or when I think maybe something like that, I mean, this could be Aquilonian sanctuary, Oasis sanctuary. Oasis sanctuary might sound better, honestly. Is that a sandstorm that's happening right now? Are you serious? I think it reaches over here. Yeah, I'm just gonna ignore that right now. It will get a little. It's gonna get a little bit darker, so apologize for that. But then we have something like this, and then we'll just take our wedges and fill in these gaps here so we get more of a circle. That is a really nice circle right there. That is really, really nice. So then let's go back to Argossean, and we're going to put pillars on each of these. Oh my gosh. Yeah, we're going to put pillars on each of these wedges, and then we're just going to build this up. Oh my gosh. Stupid sandstorm, go away. I'm still building even though the sandstorm's coming. Alright. So something like this, and then what I was thinking is, this seems like a giant skylight here, but I'm thinking of building walls here. So having the outside face outside, and then the inside facing towards me where I'm standing, or flying, I should say. The other part of me was maybe, although it might look weird, having these door frames instead of... Actually, this is different, but I think this will be nice because it does add lighting in here. Like, it does add more light, but it will have a roof over it. But then you'll be able to see from the outside from the other side, kind of, I think. Yeah, something like that. That looks okay. Oh, the sandstorm's going away now. Thank goodness. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is just, with each of these pillars, I'm going to put a wedge. And then in between those, I'm going to put a square. And I'm going to shrink this down here. And these are going to have square ceilings as well. Wow, it just got super bright. My eyes. So yeah, something like this. And then, honestly, I don't know if this... No. Squares aren't going to look good like that because I think it'll just stick out too far. It'll just look kind of awkward. So, a different idea I had was putting these walls here, and then we're going to do more ceiling or roof pieces. So let's take our sloped roofs. We get the regular ones, and then we'll get the wedged ones to go in between. Just like so. And then these triangle parts, we are going to have fences. These are just all going to connect together, just like so. And for these, we might just add maybe some little lights that are here. Nothing that's too bright, because it'll just get too crazy. Too bright, too quickly. And then we're just going to build this up a little bit. Although, I'm thinking again, using the door frames, just to add a little bit more openness to this. Because Sanctuary, I'm just thinking like, oh, so pretty, you know? And maybe adding 2 layers of this. And then finishing it off with Argossean roof pieces. Although, oh, do we not have enough support here? We don't. Well, looks like we're going to need some more support. This is the thing about building these, is it's a little bit difficult to kind of do that. So we might need to put some pillars in here on the more inner part of this place, which is fine. So we can do maybe not all the way, but we could start from here and then skip one, just like that. And then just build downward like this. You can build from the bottom up, but I'm just trying to line this up correctly, so I'm going to build from the top to the bottom. And then just kind of connect them all like so. So we have something like this. Yeah, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. I mean, it makes sense to do that because, I mean, it would be nicer if I could have this completely open face, but yeah, it's bound to be like, oh, I don't have enough support here. But that's okay. But now we do. So then I could just cap this off with those roof pieces. This looks so pretty. This actually turned out way better than I thought. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. You know, when I played this a long time ago on console and even early on PC, I I built a lot of gazebos, and this kind of gave me the inspiration to build something like well, it gave me the gazebos gave me inspiration to build something more grand like this, and I you know, it turned out really well, I think. Okay, so we need to do some decorations here. So the first thing I want to do is add some lights in here because we definitely need lights all around. So if I want to add some little lights, I'm going to add these little ones here because they look nice, and I think this roof could use some lights up here because it will get really dark. Although in the desert in this game, it doesn't get as dark as the Highlands do or any other part that's higher up in this game. It's just, yeah. Just in the desert's a little bit brighter. And I think if I can do this right, I can. We put a light up there too. That looks good. All right, so I'm thinking either putting statues here or putting fountains. So if I want to do statues, which a lot of these are, well, they could fit here. These ones, I mean, I don't know why they're so darn big, but it does work. They do fit. And I think I'll save the fountains for the bottom. Yeah, you know what? We'll do the statues here. These deserve to be here because I've been wanting to use them for a while. I just never really had the chance to use them because I build things so small, or at least some things may be big, but not enough room in order for me to place these types of statues in. There we go. Oh yeah, that looks so good. I love that. Oh, that makes me want to put... Yeah, I'm going to try something. So, I'm going to get rid of these lights. And then I'm going to replace these with other statues. Oops. Didn't mean to do that. I'm replace these with statues as well. And the statue I'm going to replace them with is this Argossean statue. And then I have an idea for the other lights too. So I'm just going to put these all around here. Even though these big statues are blocking at least a few of them, it's okay. But once we get all these in here... There we go. Oh yeah. I like that a lot more. And then for lights, we can go back up here. And the lights that I want to use are actually these beauties, because I've used these before. Zamorian ground lantern. And we could put these on every corner here, every vertice that the fences meet together. Just add some light. They give off a little bit of light, and I think this will be enough. With how many that there are going to be placed here, it's going to be enough to light this pretty decently. And we're going to need some lights where the larger statues are, down below. Which I might be able to put something in front of them where it illuminates the front. Although I might want to just illuminate where it meets them at the sides, and I'll show you in a second what I mean. Once we finish all these. Yeah, look at that. Beautiful. Alright, so I was thinking of putting a... Oh, what's it called? A brazier. Which there's these large ones here, which they are... They're big and you'll be able to see them from afar, but I feel like they're a little too bright for what we're trying to do. So something more like this larger road lamp here gives off a little bit of light, but not too bright. I kind of want to not make it too dim where you can't really see much, but definitely enough where you can see where things are. Just give it enough light. I don't want intense light, you know? Because we're going to be seeing this at night, and I definitely want to make sure that it's good. Oh, it's doing that silly thing again. Oh, can I not do the hanging? I can't, because it's being stupid. Oh, I hate when that happens. It's one of those mods that I have, and it's being really dumb. That's a shame. I think if I restart, it'll work, or it'll work eventually on its own. I don't know. But, oops. But that's okay. So for wells, I'm going to put a fountain in the middle here. Obviously, because that was kind of my intent anyway. Let's put a fountain here. Beautiful. Although, before I do that, let's go to carpets, because I want to put a carpet down here. So we have the Argossean carpet, and we have the Aquilonian sigil carpet, which I'm going to use the sigil. Sigil carpet's pretty good. It's okay if you don't get it completely centered, because I know sometimes it could be a little tricky at times. Make sure that I have this as centered as possible. Yeah, the thing is, like, with no snapping, it's just, ugh. Kind of a pain in the butt. Yeah, see, like, it's just so annoying trying to get this to work. My mouse controls are... Okay, that's as good as it's gonna get. I think that's the best I got it so far. Alright. And then I could probably put more fountains around here if I wanted to. Just these parts here. Or what I could do, which is what I used for the Argossean set, or the observatory, is using these quarter pillars and making sort of a pedestal for braziers that can go on top. Even statues, like the little statues can go up there as well, which I think would be a good idea too. But we definitely need more lights, and since I can't really do the hanging ones right now, I might as well just do braziers that go in the ground, so we're just going to go all the way around with this until we finish every side. Go back to lights. I'm going to test this again. Yeah, because if I put this down, I mean, it's just going sideways. It's just ridiculous. So I'm going to use a set brazier here. These ones look good on their pedestals. Or on the pedestal that I made, so that's what I'm going to be using. All the way around. Just like so. So that's pretty well lit, I'd say. And then in some of these empty spaces, we're going to put some plants. I want plants. And the best plant, in my opinion, if I can find it, there, is this decorative plant, which is the hops plant. So I'm gonna put a hops plant on each of these wedge pieces. Where those square pieces are when you're going up the stairs, I'm gonna put something there too, but not a plant, but something else. Alright, all those plants are down. Now, this one here, we're gonna go back to statues again, and I'm thinking I could put this another Argossean statue, because it might honestly be the best, but you could also have these, Statue of Guidance. Yeah, those, oh yeah, that looks good. This also gives off some light, I believe. It does, but I don't think it's that bright, and it'll illuminate kind of the outer parts here a little bit. This will go on every side here. Try to center it as best I can. There we go. Just like so. Oh my gosh, guys. This looks so good. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Look at that. That is amazing. Okay, I definitely want to see this at night. So let me go ahead and change the time of day, and when it's nighttime, I will show you guys. So give me a second. All right. This is what it looks like at night. Look at that. Oh man, that turned out so good. Oh my gosh. This is beautiful. Alright, so let's go down on the ground here. And man, is it bright. It's bright in here, but this is really nice. You got the fountain in the middle, got these beautiful tall pillars here. And you got these statues as well, some plants. Oh, little baby shaleback enjoying it. What I made as pedestals here for these braziers to sit upon. And then if we go up here, you could see, actually, if we look from down here, you can see the pillars on the outside because of the way that I use the door frames. And then I blocked this part up here only because I couldn't use the hanging braziers at all for some reason, at least the ones that go on the ceiling. So I just decided to close it off and put a brazier here. And I also took these Zamorian lamps here and I put them on these corners of the fences because it was a little dim. It was pretty dim. It wasn't too bright. So, but oh man. Guys, this turned out so well. I love this so much. Wow. Yep, I was just winging it because I'm like, oh, this pattern looks good. I wonder what I can make out of it. And voila! Look what we did. It turned out really well. But if you guys did enjoy this, please hit that like button. I would really appreciate that. And do not do not forget to hit the subscribe button if you want to see more things like this. Also, hitting the like button will let me know that you guys want to see more of this as well. But subscribing will let me know that you guys enjoy the content on the channel and would also like to see more. Don't forget to hit that notification bell to be notified when I upload a video every day. It's not always going to be Conan Exiles, but I do other content as well on the channel. And I'd like to give a shout out to my friend Bear Medley for being a member of the channel, and you can become a member too by hitting the join button down below. I've been Savvy, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Bye guys. See you later.